Hey folks, Mason here. I wanted to share some words of reflection after the TDHCA Governing Board approved PEDCOR's 4% tax credit for the Creek Bend apartment project slated to be built at this location. First, I want to thank everyone in our communities who has supported this fight against this project that we know is not in the best interest of our communities and not in the best interest of our children and our local schools. To spell out the desired effect was to convince the TDHCA Governing Board to deny PEDCOR their millions of dollars in tax credit based upon the logical and compelling reasons why this project isn't worthy of such tax credits. For if their tax credits were denied, they likely would have canceled this project or at least delayed it, potentially putting the land back on the market, and while at the same time being responsible for remediating the property that we know the environmental site assessment identifies that the property has basically been used as a landfill, putting any future occupants here at health risk and also putting Cibolo Creek and the Edwards Aquifer at environmental risk. So a few observations. The TDHCA Governing Board and everyone in that room was shocked at the intensity of the opposition. You could feel it. You could see it in their faces. And you could observe it in their body gestures while they sat behind their tables. Essentially, this board flinched, and we were that close to winning this specific political skirmish on this project. Now, I'm one person, I'm one man, I'm one father, with only 3 minutes of public comment at that meeting that walked into a den of affordable housing developers, special interest lobbyists, and even some of their attorneys on that day. And our efforts to oppose this project almost walked out of there with a victory for our communities, with the proof being what I just described and how one TDHCA board member abstained from voting and another actually voted no. So I'm convinced if we would have had 5, 10, 15, or even 20 or more motivated parents, property owners, teachers, business owners, or good upstanding citizens from our communities that were opposed to this project actually show up to that meeting on that day, our chances of walking out of that meeting with a victory would have been all but guaranteed. Additional proof is a recent social media post from Bexar County Precinct 3 Commissioner Grant Moody confirming that all of these affordable housing projects are recklessly out of control. So I would surmise that despite all the opposition letters from every single one of our elected officials, despite the opposition letter from the Comal ISD superintendent, this means that Gene Latcha, PEDCOR Investments, and the San Antonio Housing Trust have more say in the destinies and fates of our communities than you do. They have more say and influence than our elected officials, of which whom you have just casted a vote for. Now, I don't know about you, but that makes me furiously upset. And to all of our elected officials who signed these letters of opposition, we thank you for standing in solidarity with our communities. But it is obvious to us as your constituents, the boards like the TDHCA Governing Board and the special interest lobbyists and affordable housing developers and their attorneys have more power than you do. And they essentially threw your opposition letters in the virtual trash. The next Texas legislative session needs real tangible ideas to preserve and protect our communities, to force TDHCA policies and procedures by law that at least when every elected official writes an opposition letter to these projects, the project shouldn't even be considered by the TDHCA board. This is one idea, and our communities have many. So to Representative DeRazio, Senator Donna Campbell, and Bexar County Precinct 3 Commissioner Grant Moody, we are here, we are ready, standing by for your leadership to help you kick some political ass in the next legislative session. Semper Fi.